All right, hello. We are going to talk about some crime again because this is a story that News 12 did not want to talk about. And this is about four suspects in custody after New Hyde Park burglary attempt. And you can see this is, according to detectives, members of the burglary pattern team and the Bureau of Special Operations were conducting an extensive investigation into recent burglaries when they observed these guys right here, Jimenez, Carrillo, Daniel Esteban, all of Queens, South Ozone Park, knock on the door of a South Street residence and then walk away and circled the block multiple times after no one answered. The also observed was defendant Hernandez, Gomez, Gleason, Jehon, and I can't even pronounce those names here, but they're all from Queens, enter a South Drive residence and break the glass of a rear sliding door and pry it open. At that time, the defendants ran away on foot after hearing a female victim inside the residence screaming. Both defendants fled into a 2020 black Hyundai, driven by a fourth defendant, Ortiz Ramos, Brian Alexis, 20 of 149-52 124th Street, South Ozone Park. Members of the Bureau of Special Operations were able to apprehend these guys. And this is all part of a ring that's going on. Laura Ula posted this as well, and there was also an announcement from Bruce Blakeman and Patrick Ryder about this. And it says here it says here, and it says migrants. So we don't know if they're actually, they say that they're migrants. NCB reported 4 migrants were busted and then released to the U.S.-Mexico border without bail. Of course. This is where the president is failing us. I'm actually disgusted with Joe Biden, all right? Really disgusted with him. Continuing on a burglary spree, and you targeting Indian people. So over 30 home burglaries reported in Hicksville, Bethpage, New Hyde Park, Levittown, and the Queens. Of course, it's the middle of the island. This doesn't happen on the South Shore. The old target. This is what diverse people on Long Island have to deal with, while the whitest communities on the South Shore avoid most of this stuff. So this is the quote from Nassau County Executive. Local law enforcement did their job. The federal government, their law enforcement, did their job. And what we have here is a complete failure of a leadership in Washington. And, of course, the governor and mayor in New York City I would just put them right back on the buses, and I'd send them right back to where they came from. But no, they're not going to do that. They were caught at the border, and rather than be detained, they were let go so they could wreak havoc on communities across the United States. And this is what we're seeing with these undocumented. This is an issue that I used to talk about a lot. And, of course, the mayor of New York is just opening his arms to these people. You go up here and you see, look at that. And meanwhile, they're not giving any money. Believe it or not, this lady here is sending the National Guard to New York City to handle the migrant crisis, but not the crime. Not the crime. This lady, Kathy Hochul, our horrible governor, and then you have this. More love coming from undisclosed locations. The Biden administration is not even going to be helping out the city financially. And the mayor is just being a sucker and we'll take him. No. Because guess what? He's going to draw it. The city is going to become the next Detroit if this mayor keeps it up. All right, so there is a video on this now. Of course, News 12. Yeah, let's go to News 12 right now because when South Shore... Oh, excuse me. I make this mistake. A lot of people make this mistake because that's what they call themselves as News 12. But they're not really a news station. They're South Shore 12. And, of course, they're gearing to all a certain demographic right here. All right, so here you go. This is one of their stories here. Tax bills. It's all about finance. It's all about money. Lindenhurst... school board considers, they gave us 2 minutes and 17 seconds, all right, because some students had to walk to school. Oh, it's too bad. We're important. We shouldn't have to walk to school. And I don't even see the thing here. They did briefly cover the story that we started this video with, but as you can see, there's nothing in here. Let's look at all this stuff. I don't even think I have it on the website. Oh, yeah. Get this. This is going to piss you off. This is going to go to Babylon. Revitalization is going to go to Babylon. All right. Lindenhurst, let's see. Most of these are on the South Shore. Babylon, there are a few in some of the other areas. But, of course, News 12 was in Babylon. Yeah, Babylon needs a revitalization. Babylon is fine. Why are you wasting money on Babylon? Oh, because those people are important. They're white. They work on Wall Street. They're important. So I don't think they even covered this story. So it just goes to show you, South Shore 12 is full of racists. There are a bunch of racist snobs at that network. The people who run it, really, it's so obvious what they gear to. So obvious they gear to a certain demographic, of course. So let's talk about this story here from Channel 2 here, which actually did cover it. They actually did cover it, fortunately. We just got to get through this commercial here. But they actually did cover it. And this is because they're a broadcast station, and because they have to
quitting tobacco
they
is
have
the best
to
way to prevent lung cancer.
talk about the crime. Whereas Channel 12, they don't broadcast over the air. So they're not. So here's the story.
A sophisticated ring of burglars from South America who crossed the border 3 months ago is accused of targeting an ethnic group on Long Island. CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan reports the thieves used lookouts and surveillance to track their victims.
The Indian American community is being targeted in a home burglary ring uncovered.
Yeah, I am furious over this. And this is what I mean. The problem's dumped in the Indian American community. While the whitest towns on the South Shore and Rockville Center, they don't have to deal with this stuff. They don't have to deal with this stuff. It's always the people in the middle of the island. It's always people of color that have to deal with the crime burden that this governor has placed on us.
In Hicksville,
as well as
Long
this
Island,
president. I'm disgusted with Biden. I really am.
Police, the suspects wore vests posing as utility workers.
They would watch those coming out of the Patel store or the jewelry store or out of getting their nails done. They would follow them to their residence.
That happened right 2 blocks from my house, 5 o'clock in the morning. And it is really terrifying.
The 4 suspects are from Columbia, caught in New Hyde Park, where they followed a victim to her South Drive home. Neighbor
Scary
Anita
stuff.
Ramoya was walking her dog when she saw police activity.
It's scary. I mean, I'm home, and it's constantly on my mind.
Nassau's burglary pattern squad had the fake utility workers under surveillance.
Started to pry the door, the glass broke, and the woman, who was now awake inside the house, screamed.
The suspects were nabbed as they tried to flee. One hid a stolen AK-47 in woods near a school, say police.
They wrapped it in a plastic bag and placed it with the bullets in the woods across the street from the house.
How is this not the top story at News 12? How is this? No, let's talk about the snobs. Let's talk about the snobs. All right? It's unbelievable. It's racism. That's what we're seeing.
That any child or any kid could have picked that gun up.
Detectives say the undocumented entered illegally through borders in Texas, Arizona, and California.
Yep.
These individuals should never have been allowed to make their way into the United States. They were caught at the border, and rather than be detained, they were let go.
Nassau police say they have 20 to 30 recent open cases in this area with similar MOs that could be linked to the crew of 4.
The law has to be in place. I mean, for these guys, it has to be a little more strict, so, they feel the pain.
The 4 did not make bail and are being held until their next court date.
Thank God they're not out
Jennifer
on the
McLogan,
streets.
CBS 2 News.
This is
customers. CBS 2's Tim McNicholas shares for some solutions for.
All right. Why is this playing? I can't even stop it. My computer's got a mind of its own. I'll have to close this. But anyway, they also have a YouTube video too, which I can put. Oh, and you can see, look at this. Man slashed and pepper sprayed on. So it's always the middle of the island dealing with the brunt of these plays. You don't hear about this stuff going on in Rockville Center. You don't hear about it going on in Lynbrook. You don't hear about it going on in preppy Lily White Wandsworth. No. It's always the communities of color that have to deal with most of the crime. And I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. All these liberals out there, particularly you, Kathy Hochul, act like you're champions. Yeah, let's get her picture on the screen. This is perfect. This is a perfect little picture of her. Put this right there. She's opening the state. She's let the criminals out of jail. She's allowing all these people who, look, I understand that there are people that need to come here for sanctuary. I understand that or whatever. But they're not checking the people coming in. There could be criminals. There could be all kinds of people That's why Donald Trump got elected, because people were sick and tired of people coming in across the border illegally. You don't know what you're getting. All right? And so all those people, guess where they go? They go to the middle of the island. So her, Eric Adams, they're like, well, we care about minorities. No, you don't. No, you don't. You are driving to drive minorities out of New York State by discriminating against their communities, putting all the problems there, letting these criminals out, when you know damn well that your lily white kind in your little preppy enclaves get to be safe, while the rest of us suffer, and we're tired of it. And I really hope people in New York start seeing the light and vote this damn bitch out on Election Day. I'm sorry to use that language, but she is destroying this state. I mean, just today I was in Rockville Center, and you know what somebody did? They had the nerve to take a Zeldin sign and throw it in the middle of the road. Well, you know what? I put that Zeldin sign right back up. All right? So, I'm disgusted. I really am. And seeing this story just confirms everything I've been talking about how minorities, people of color in New York are being targeted by the hoodlums that she is letting out on the streets, being targeted by the hoodlums she is letting into the state from across the border. All right? It's interesting that they're not being sent to New Jersey or Connecticut. No, because I don't think Phil Murphy would allow this. But no, this woman here, along with Eric Adams, we're going to talk about Eric Adams, who I forgot to put on. Actually, I think Laura Ole has a picture of him. So I think, let's see, we can get a picture of him through Laura Ole. Ole, I may not be pronouncing his name right. Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah, this guy. This lowlife right here, all right? This guy, he's running the city. He's pleading for help to help, you could turn them away. You know that, Mayor. But no, you're not going to do that, are you? You're not going to do that. You're just going to be a sucker, all right? So it's absolutely pathetic, it really is. And it's going to destroy this state if we don't take action and throw these limousine liberals out of office. This is not about hating on Democrats. It's not about being in love with Republicans. It's about doing something about the crime siege this state is under right now. So I plead with all of you to vote for Lee Zeldin on Election Day, because otherwise we are going to be driven out. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching.